Much like how a good vehicle engine is paramount to how a car functions and performs, game engines serve a similarly integral purpose in game development. Epic's Unreal Engine has been at the forefront of gaming technology and modern rendering for years at this point, and its latest in line, Unreal Engine 5, is no different. From its Lumen lighting system to Nanite rendering to easier implementation of photogrammetry, the Unreal Engine 5 has no shortage of impressive features. That said, to us gamers, what matters the most is how developers utilize the feature sets to create never-before-seen experiences in gaming. To that effect, here are 10 Unreal Engine 5 games that look insane. SENUA's SAGA HELLBLADE 2. Developer Ninja Theory delivered one of the best single-player experiences of recent memory in the form of 2017's HELLBLADE SENUA's SAGA, which masterfully tells the tale of SENUA, a patient of psychosis. Its follow-up, SENUA's SAGA HELLBLADE 2, is showing a similar promise, although the protagonist looks much more prepared to face the larger-than-life threats that lie in her way. Ninja Theory's latest trailer highlights some great utilization of Epic's latest technology with impressive cloth physics, spot-on facial capture, volumetric lighting, photogrammetry, and much more. Of course, the dark and dreary art style is the driving factor for this impressive visual presentation, but having a strong engine to work with definitely eases things up to an extent. SENUA's SAGA HELLBLADE 2 is currently in development for Xbox Series consoles and PC with an unconfirmed release date at this point. S.T.A.L.K.E.R. S.T.A.L.K.E.R is an upcoming first-person survival horror game currently in development at Cloud Games, a small, independent studio based out of Russia. It's heavily inspired by the likes of recent Resident Evil games, and boasts some great art direction. Details on the story front remain scant for now, although the developers have said that it wouldn't be as convoluted as its contemporaries. The game's ambient lighting looks really great, and the game's textures also seem pretty impressive. It's entirely funded by Patreon, and the developers are currently working part-time on the project, which makes this level of visual fidelity even more impressive. It's also a testament to the flexibility and power of Unreal Engine 5, which will supposedly allow smaller teams to craft experiences that rival the biggest of blockbusters. S.T.A.L.K.E.R is currently in development for PC and has no release date at this point in time. Black Myth Wukong. Game Science's upcoming Black Myth Wukong is a love letter to the Chinese novel Journey to the West. Players assume the role of the Destined One as he ventures out into the wild to fight the biggest and baddest monsters around. Combat is fast-paced yet methodical and seems heavily inspired by From Software's Souls games. Of course, it looks drop-dead gorgeous thanks to stellar art direction. The lighting also looks really impressive, and the game's environments exude a grand sense of scale, courtesy of Unreal Engine 5. Black Myth Wukong is currently targeting a 2023 release window for PC and unconfirmed consoles. S.T.A.L.K.E.R 2 Heart of Chernobyl. S.T.A.L.K.E.R 2 Heart of Chernobyl is the latest in the GSC game world's genre-defining Stalker series, which have provided players with intense survival horror mechanics set against the backdrop of the Chernobyl exclusion zone. Built from the ground up using Unreal Engine 5 and targeting current-gen consoles, S.T.A.L.K.E.R 2 is looking to be a great visual showcase for the power of the Xbox Series X. Utilizing Epic's engine-specific technology like the MetaHuman toolbox for NPCs, ray-traced reflections, and plenty of other similarly strenuous post-processing techniques, S.T.A.L.K.E.R 2 Heart of Chernobyl releases for Xbox Series X and S and PC on December 8, 2022. The Matrix Awakens. Developed by the team behind Unreal Engine 5 themselves, alongside other studios such as The Coalition, The Matrix Awakens is less of an actual game rather than a tech demo built to give gamers a sneak peek at the future. That said, it does feature an open world that players can cause havoc in, so it's definitely worth looking at. The Matrix Awakens uses the newest features of the engine to great effect, from the MetaHuman toolbox to create NPCs to ray-traced reflections galore, to smooth LOD swapping thanks to Nanite, and so much more. Not to mention a star-studded cast of Keanu Reeves and Carrie-Anne Moss reprising the roles of Neo and Trinity themselves, albeit for a very short duration. It's available for PS5 and Xbox Series X and S, and for the asking price of nothing, it's definitely worth a try. Ashes of Creation. Intrepid Studios' MMORPG Ashes of Creation is yet another game that was originally in development using Unreal Engine 4 and then updated its engine to Unreal Engine 5 mid-development. The differences might not be immediately apparent, although upon further inspection we can see how the new engine impacts volumetric fog, alpha particles such as snow, and reflections, giving the game an overall pristine look that's most certainly an improvement over the original. Ashes of Creation's gameplay is standard MMORPG stuff, as players will build unique characters and take up quests, harvest resources, partake in character progression, and the like. The game is in alpha testing right now, and details on the full release are not available as of yet. It will be released for PC though. Quantum Error. Quantum Error sees players controlling a military operative that's sent on a rescue mission of sorts after a mysterious entity attacks a research facility. Played through either a first-person perspective or a third-person one, Quantum Error's gameplay revolves around fighting the many kinds of horrors that lurk within the dark corners of this facility, all while utilizing an exquisite arsenal of weapons. Facial textures also look great in particular, alongside a chilling atmosphere, thanks to a dense volumetric fog that envelops the skybox. We will be seeing more of the game in action as it approaches its unconfirmed release date for both PC and consoles. DreamHouse the Game. Developed by Descent Game Studios, DreamHouse the Game is a fun little game about building the perfect home. Players have access to a ton of different tools to make their creations however they deem fit, change the surrounding environments at a whim, or even use VR to virtually visit these places. The game looks photorealistic, which might be a direct result of the use of Unreal Engine 5's photogrammetry archives to render objects in the game's world. The reflections are also pristine, giving the game's environments a really royal look. It'll be released for PC sometime in the future. FORTNITE. Epic Games' FORTNITE has been one of the most successful games of recent memory, and has transcended to a pop culture sensation. Originally developed on Unreal Engine 4, FORTNITE has now switched over to Unreal Engine 5 with the Chapter 3 update. Improvements to the experience include better destructibility mechanics and much more detailed physics, with the ability to destroy logs and debris encompassing tornadoes. Granted, it's not the biggest of graphical leaps, the Unreal Engine 5's feature set should allow the developer to introduce even more graphical bells and whistles in future updates. Echoes of the End. Developer Microgame's ambitious debut title, Echoes of the End, sees players taking the role of Rin as she forgoes her life as a warrior in favor of exploring the game's fantasy setting and finding the many secrets that lie within. Gameplay revolves around exploration, choosing dialogues to advance the story, solving environmental puzzles, and engaging in combat. It's not the best looking game on the list, and is rough around the edges, sure, but we are hoping that the small team manages to polish the game in the future. Echoes of the End is in development for both PC and consoles, but does not have a release date just yet. And that brings us to the end of the video. A quick request: we upload new videos every single day, and if you like what we're doing, please consider subscribing. It really helps us out. Also, don't forget to enable all notifications by clicking the bell icon so that you can receive daily video updates. Thanks for watching.